everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a really kind of quick and easy hair video. If you follow me for a while, you'll know that I'm not the most adventurous person with my hair. It's usually like down, either straight or wavy, but I do one hairstyle that I actually can do, and I do it quite often, and it's basically just kind of like a high slick ponytail, but it has like a little bit of volume on the top and it's quite long. And I think I have a few like kind of tips and tricks about doing that, because there really is nothing worse than just doing like a regular ponytail and looking like you're 5 years old. Like, you do need a bit of volume on top, and you want it to be long and kind of like a little bit voluminous even in the ponytail. And of course you can do this with like wavy hair as well, but personally I prefer doing mine with really like sleek straight hair, and this is a great one if you have a wedding or an occasion, and it's just so simple and easy to do. So I figured I'd show you how I do it. I have a meeting today, so I was going to do it anyway. So I have my camera, just my vlog camera, up on my desk, and I have a mirror in front of me, and I'll just like talk you through exactly how I do it. So first up, I just straighten my hair. As you can see, it's quite straight, like not poker straight, still has a little bit of volume, and I just used my GHD Nocturne. I love this, it's really quick. So the hair is straight, and then what you want to do first is, sorry if I'm looking ahead a lot, just the mirror is right here and I definitely need a mirror to do this. But basically what you do first is you part the hair kind of in the middle. Like, you want to get this as straight as possible, and you want to put your hair into like two sections. So the first section we won't be touching just yet, so just kind of fire that up in like a messy ponytail or messy bun, or if you have a big clip or something, you just want it to kind of stay out of your way, definitely. So make sure it's quite secure, and then you're left with this bottom part of hair. Doesn't have to be completely straight, all the hair will be going together in the end, but just for your own ease. So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to create one small ponytail using this hair at the bottom. And I like my ponytail quite high, so this is the part where you decide like what position in your head you want the ponytail, whether you want really high, kind of sassy, or you want like medium in the middle of the head, or else you can do it low as well, of course. But for me, I do like mine quite high, so I'm gonna pull mine up pretty high. And this is also the part where you have to be careful, because there's nothing worse than having a ponytail and like this part, you know, the very bottom part here, like you do not want that to be saggy. So make sure here you're like getting your brush and you're really bringing everything together. And of course that part won't be completely straight, and for me, for some reason, as much as I brush it, it just never goes completely straight. So there will be like maybe a tiny bump or two, but just try your best to get it like as tight onto your head as possible, because that will make it look like as professionally done as possible too. So really bring it in. And then for me, I do like to bring mine up pretty high, so I'm gonna bring it up as high as I can, and you can fix this afterwards as well. So I'm just going to tie this, and then the next step we're going to do, and this is actually one of the tips that I learned online. So you get one of these claw clips, that's what they're called here apparently. I don't know what we call them back in Ireland, but in America they're called claw clips. Okay, so what you want to do with this small like bottom ponytail is actually divided in half. So take the top part of it, and we're going to clip the claw clip. So we're going to push this into the top part like that. And the reason that we're doing this is that this is going to make your ponytail look fuller and actually longer. It's kind of like breaking up the ponytail, and I'm actually doing a really sleek and straight ponytail, but if you want to do one of those real messy voluminous ponytails that just seems to be really wide, that's a really good trick too, because it's just making the ponytail fuller and kind of wider. So once that's done then, and you kind of have it in place, don't worry now if you can kind of like see clips or if it's a bit wonky, because we'll be fixing all that in the end, but that's your first steps. So next up then, we take down, I tied this very tight, we take down this top part of the hair, and we're gonna fix that up next, and then join the two parts together. So this is the part of like the step-by-step where we really give this front part volume. So what you want to do is take like little sections of this part of your hair, not too thick now, and we're going to tease these slightly and hairspray them. So this obviously isn't very good for your hair, and I try to do this at a minimum, but just do it quite gently. So hopefully you can see, but I'm just using this really small comb and just the very bottom of the piece of hair, and just like tease it down. Just give it that little bit of a oomph, and then once you have that done, get a bit of hairspray. I use this one, I truly think it's the best, and nothing in this video is sponsored. These are like my favorite hair products. So you just spray the back a little bit, and then you flip it over and let it dry. I know I look crazy, but let that dry. And then while that's drying, we're gonna get like the neck section. So kind of grab the neck section like right behind it, and we're gonna do the same. Not very even because my hair is a bit weird at this point, but just tease it again very gently just at the roots. Spray that. And we're also gonna let that, flip it over, let that dry. And you do want to let this, oh my god, I look so crazy. You do want to let this dry at this point because that's what's going to keep it holding. So give it like 10 seconds or so, and then we will flip it over and we're going to put the two ponytails as such together. Okay, I think that's done. So flip it over and have a bit of a crazy mohawk or something going on there, but you want to make sure that that holds. It's not going to be exactly like that, don't worry, when I tie it up, but the more you can keep this big while you're doing the ponytail, the better. So don't kind of like touch it too much. So next step then, you're going to kind of like tease it out just with the brush, like combing it out, not wanting to lose it too much, but also not wanting to look crazy. So fine, there's a fine line there. So just kind of tease it all back. And now what we're going to do is we're going to join this hair with the smaller ponytail at the same height. So what you want to do, you don't want to pull back too much though, don't forget, because you're going to lose this height, and you're going to join them all together like this, keeping that like loose kind of like grip on your hair so that we're not losing the top bit, and bring them all together. And at this point now you can kind of like straighten out any bits that are popping up or any bumps. And of course when we tie it, it is going to go down flatter a little bit, but when we get to the end of the video I'll spruce it up a bit more. So bring that all in, make sure these bumps are back, and now we're going to be tying these two ponytails together. And as you can see already, like look how long it is, really long, and that's because we like split it up into two parts. So the next trick that I kind of want to show you is, I don't know about you, but when it comes to this part of doing my hair and doing my ponytail, more often than not, like when you get a normal bobble and you tie it, it kind of like brings that height back, and then you lose all that like teasing work you did, and it's just for nothing. So what I do instead is I get a hair bobble. This is hard to do with one hand. I get a hair bobble like this, plain hair bobble, and I put a clip on both ends. And instead of like wrapping as normal the hair bobble around my hair, what I'm going to do is, so now that you have them together, keep it as loose as possible, but don't worry, we will make it a bit bigger at the end too. Okay, so we're sticking the clip into one side, then we're gonna bring this around. This is kind of tricky doing it yourself, but with a bit of practice it gets easier. But you wrap it around kind of as tight as it can go, and then just find a place to pop in the second clip. Again, try and hide them as much as you can. Like we will be hiding them a bit more, but just make your life as easy as possible. Okay, that seems pretty secure. And of course, if you're not like feeling confident about doing that trick, like just use a regular hair bobble and just try and keep the volume. So at this point now we have to even out this like bumpy part as much as we can. And personally for me, like I like a lot of volume on top, so you mightn't like as much, but I just hate hair being stuck to my head. It's like my biggest nightmare when I'm doing like an up style. So bring it on the sides. Mine always kind of goes a little bit towards one side, because then when I'm taking pictures and stuff for the blog or whatever it is, I can kind of like, I know my side that it looks a bit better on, if that makes sense. So when that's done then and it feels pretty secure, what we do to finish it off then is we take a little bit of hair from the ponytail. So you can make this as thick or as thin as you want. I'm gonna make it kind of like in the middle, and then you're wrapping that around the hair, and that's going to hide like any of the bobbles or any of like the clips, and it'll just kind of distract from that. So we wrap that around and then get one more clip and put that into place. And when it's all secure and it feels secure, you are nearly good to go. And then you want to make sure that the front is still as high as possible, so just use your hands, like use your fingers to kind of tease it out a bit more. And sometimes I just use like a broken hair clip and I kind of pull like up and forward really gently, and that just like brings it up. Or if you have like one of those brushes, you can obviously use too. I remember I wore this kind of style like a bit lower, but I had the wrap around to a wedding during the summer, and nearly everyone assumed that I got my hair done, and I was like, no, so easy, like literally 5-10 minute job this morning. I did it myself, but that wraparound does give it a little bit more put together kind of look, and very red carpet as well. Loads of celebrities, I see them with this style. So that's it. I hope you found that helpful. Definitely nothing groundbreaking in there. We're just starting to lose light, so just in time. But I hope you enjoyed the tips and tricks that I did put in there. Definitely, like, the claw clip was great for giving a little bit more height, and then the splitting it up into 2 sections definitely makes it feel longer as well. So give it a go, let me know what you think, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.